Hello, I'm continuing my reviews on the Prom Night series with Prom Night III, The Last Kiss, which I have on the same DVD as Prom Night IV. Now, this is the third film in the Prom Night franchise, and was released straight to video in the US in 1989, but was released theatrically in Canada in 1990. Now, the film was written by Ron Oliver, who also wrote the previous film, Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night II, and the film was directed by Ron Oliver and Peter R. Simpson, who was the producer for all these Prom Night movies. Now, Prom Night III is the only film in the franchise to have any sort of connection with the previous film, other than it being set at Hamilton High, because Mary Lou Maloney, who is the main villain of the previous film, also comes back in this, albeit played by a different actress. But to be honest, the film is less of a sequel to Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2, and it's more of a spoof/comedic remake of the previous film. And the movie is a pure parody. Whereas Prom Night 2 had some dark humor in it, it was first and foremost a horror movie. This is almost not even a horror comedy, but a pure comedy with horror movie elements. Now, this is probably going to be a short review because, I'll be honest, I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. This might actually be my least favorite film in the franchise, not counting the remake. So, the plot of Prom Night 3 is Mary Lou, a girl who was killed on prom night in 1957, escapes from hell, using a nail file to escape her chains. I didn't know it was that easy, but okay. So, she returns to Earth and begins haunting Hamilton High. Eventually, she becomes infatuated with this high school student named Alex and wants to make Alex her new boyfriend. And she starts killing people who give Alex a hard time, and Alex reluctantly starts hiding the bodies for her, but this starts backfiring on him when it causes him problems with his actual girlfriend, and when the police find out about this. But yeah, Prom Night 3 is not a very good movie in my opinion. I mean, some of the humor is amusing, I guess, and the film does try to be a almost David Lynch-style parody of 50s culture, but to be honest, you got that in the second Prom Night movie, and in my opinion, Prom Night 2 did it way better. And that's my problem with this, is it really does feel like a cheap version of Prom Night 2. I mean, there are a few scenes in the movie where Mary Lou's victims come back as zombies that feel very EC-ish, and the final scene of the film takes place in hell, which is kinda cool, but other than that, yeah, there's not really a lot to this movie that I really find to be memorable. I do want to point out that Brock Simpson comes back in this movie as a cop, and he actually has some pretty funny lines in it. Now, Brock Simpson also played the young Nick in the first Prom Night movie, and he played Josh in Prom Night 2, and he's the son of the producer, Peter Simpson. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot else to say about Prom Night 3. I mean, if you like it, that's cool, but for me, it was just painfully forgettable. But that was my review on Prom Night 3, and my next movie review will be on Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil.